Hey guys, so I just finished recording my cover of Scared to be Lonely. So it should be out now if you're watching this right now, so go and check it out. My most requested video ever is how I film my covers and how I work this thing. Everybody's always asking me, so I'm going to do a quick tutorial and show you how I use this thing and what software I use for music. So there was a few things that I wanted to talk about before I start the tutorial, so I wrote everything so I don't forget important things to tell you guys. So there is free software for music that are like really professional: Ableton, FL Studio and Logic Pro. So what I use is Ableton. If you don't know what to choose when you're starting music, or if you don't know what is best for you, what I advise you is to see the people you look up to, maybe DJs or singers, and see what they use. For example, I use Ableton, and Ableton is used by the Chainsmokers, Flume, Diplo and Skrillex. My two favorites are Flume and the Chainsmokers, so it was perfect for me because they do online masterclasses. You can watch how they make the whole song, and because they use Ableton, I understand everything. Now, if you want to use FL Studio is used by Avicii and Martin Garrix. I love Martin Garrix, so I watched a few of his masterclasses, and you can still understand because it's still the same process, except that it's like a different layout. And for Logic Pro, it's used by Calvin Harris, David Guetta and Disclosure. So then you know, just see the list. I learned everything that I know online. I spent hours and hours learning. Yeah, that's basically what I do all day. I just stay on my computer and I learn. So first, don't just think that you're gonna watch one video and then know everything that there is to know, because it's so complex and some people take years and years to perfect everything. So I'm going to do a basic tutorial. Now, the three important things when you do music is to have a good library of samples, plugins and VSTs. So these can cost a lot of money. So what I do is I basically just search and search until I find free plugins and free samples. Also, the really most expensive plugins that are used by the biggest, like the Chainsmokers and Skrillex, they basically all use the same plugins, so it's good to know, but they cost a lot of money. Basically, one plugin might be about 200, which is insane, but when it's your job, then you just spend the money. But what you can do is get the demos. That's what I have. I have all the demos, so you can't really make the most of the plugin, but you can still use a bit. So the best plugins are Serum, Massive, Silent, and Chris Lord Elge, I think it's pronounced. Just take notes, and yeah, I think these are the main ones that everybody uses and that are really, really good if you want to spend money. Now, let's get on to the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna want to do is plug in your MPK Mini into your computer with the USB. And that's it, it's going to be plugged in, and when you're going to push things, nothing's gonna happen. You need the software, you can't just use it like this. So we're going to open Ableton. This is what Ableton looks like. So yeah, you got your MIDI tracks here and your audio tracks here. You can obviously create more, insert MIDI track, insert audio track. So the first thing that you want to do is go into your live preferences, and then you're going to check all the preferences. So make sure that this is built-in microphone. If this is on no device, it's not going to work. So built-in microphone, then you're going to do link MIDI, and then you're going to see that here I selected my MPK Mini. So yeah, it should work now. So now nothing is gonna play still. So what we want is go to the sounds. Here you're gonna have a bunch of sounds. When you buy the MPK Mini, it's going to come with Wobble, going to have MPC Essentials, and Hybrid. This is my favorite one, I use it all the time. And now, if you want to touch your notes, it should play. So, yeah. And then you have a bunch of things that you can choose from. And you can just basically just learn and play with the things, and yeah. Now if you want like a normal sound, you have all the sounds here. So what I do mostly for my covers is I go to Grand Piano, and I start everything with the grand piano, and then once I have everything done with the grand piano, I can go and change the piano to like a synth or like a bass or anything. So you should have a normal piano. You can put the volume up and the glue up and a bit of reverb. And then you can start recording. So if you want to start recording, this is the view mode, live mode. So you have your grand piano here, and then you can start recording. And then you can take this and make it longer, and then if you double click, you're gonna have your piano here. So if you don't have the MPK Mini, you can still play the piano. All you have to do is go to the draw, and then you can just draw notes. And basically when I start making my covers, I don't even use my MPK Mini, I just use that. I just go on YouTube and I watch simple tutorials. For example, my new Martin Garrix cover, I just went online and found the simplest YouTube piano tutorial, and then I put the first 4 chords and then I put a loop. Okay, so for the tutorial, I'm going to remix Ariana Grande's Everyday song. So I got a bunch of remixes online. If you want to follow me on SoundCloud, my SoundCloud is going to be in the description box, and then you can just see songs basically I use. So I found 3 good remixes that I really liked. So we're going to put them into the pads here. We're going to delete the grand piano. And what we want to do is go to the drums. And here, this comes with Ableton. You're gonna have a bunch of drums and things like this. So if you wanna hear them, you just click here. So I'm gonna take a random one, double click, and then it's gonna come here, and your pad should start playing. So here you have 4 8 pads. But you have more pads because this is green. When it turns red, you have different pads. So basically you have 16 pads total. Yeah, so usually I always start with the red, and what I do is I separate half. So the first 4 are gonna be my remixes. Then the last 4 are gonna be drums, claps, beats. And then here I'm gonna have impacts, white noises, things that I can fill in when I make the cover. So what we want to do is go onto a MIDI track, insert a MIDI track, and here you have your MIDI track, and what you want to do is go into your iTunes and take the first remixes and then put them here. So we're gonna put them all. Okay, so we have 3 here. I'm gonna put 1 more. So you're gonna double click, and this is gonna be the song. What you wanna do first is unwrap. Okay, so what I do is I go through the song, and I'm gonna see which part I like and which part I don't like. So usually I use remixes for the drop. So I'm gonna see where the drop is. I like this. I'm gonna make it bigger so I can really see. I really like this one. Okay, then let me see this one. Unwrap. Maybe I'm gonna go for the beginning. I like this. Okay, I like this. Let's see the third one. I think I like the drop here. Okay, I like this. Now, what we want to do is important. You go to MIDI, you click. Then you're going to click on the first song, and you're going to click on the pad you want the song to be in. So I want it to be in the first pad, so I'm going to click the pad. Then I'm going to click on the second song, click a second pad, third song, click, and then third pad. And then we undo the MIDI, and it should play on your pads. Okay, so now I think we have a problem. Okay, so what I forgot to tell you, we're gonna go here to the left. And instead of global, we're gonna say none. Gate global none. Hop. And if you don't like the drums here, you can change them. So for example, I want the close to be here. So here's the right, if I want it to be here. And I have a bunch of samples that I got online. So if I want, for example, a kick, I'm gonna have all my kicks here. So for example, if I like this kick, I can drag it and put it here. Okay, so this sounds really basic, you know. So what we want is to sound more professional. So I'm going to add some effects. You can use a compressor. You can use auto filter. So I'm going to show you what auto filter does. It's really cool. So yeah, what I would put is a reverb. Yeah. So with the reverb, it's gonna sound a bit better. So we're gonna put maybe an EQ. Compressor. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell you how I use my auto filter. So you're going to click on the songs here, and you're going to put an auto filter. So this is the auto filter. You're gonna put it about here. And then what you want to do is you're going to click the MIDI, then you're going to click the frequency, and you see that knob? You're gonna turn it. Okay, now you're gonna click the one underneath, you're gonna take another knob, and you're gonna turn that knob. And now it's mapped. Yeah, and now when you're gonna turn that knob, look, ooh, it turns. Ooh. So when I play a song, so I love ending my songs like this or starting my song like this. So basically what I'm going to do is and I'm going to show you how you can make your instrumental sound better. So we're going to insert a audio track and a MIDI track. So I'm going to use some chords that are pre-made. Okay, I'm going to use this one. So you're going to drag it into your MIDI section. You're going to say, yes. And it's not going to play if you don't do anything. So you need to either put the piano or put the hybrid. So the hybrid comes with your MPK Mini. So this is the default, and we're going to play the thing by hitting the space bar. Okay, so we're going to change a bit of things. Okay, so this sounds good. Now we want to make it even better. You can use OTT. I use OTT a lot. And what I use is a sidechain. So I'm going to show you the difference with the OTT and without the OTT. Okay, I love the sound of the OC. So we're going to... Okay, I love the sound. Okay, so now what I use is a sidechain, and this is by Nicky Romero. He's one of the best DJs out there, and he makes a lot of plugins and a lot of tutorials. So follow him on YouTube because I learned a lot from him. So the Chainsmokers, they used his sidechain for the track Roses because they have a masterclass where they explain everything about how they made the track Roses. So we want to use a sidechain. So where is it? Nicky Romero. Here, Nicky Romero, and this is what it looks like. That's what the Chainsmokers used for the song Roses. So what it does, and here, that's what I do for my covers. If you love those tutorials and you want to see more, then tell me down below.